show something about breathing, and it is a breathing, especially being aware of the diaphragm. Just last few days I saw some people who has got problem or maybe the pain, stiffness on the middle back, and just being aware of the breathing and doing some exercise made them feel really better. So I thought it might be nice things to share with you. Yes, so the diaphragm is located at the base of the rib cage. You can touch the rib cage and you can see where the bottom is, and it goes all the way around to your back as well. The diaphragm has got the shape of the dome, and when you breathe out, the dome comes up and pushing the air out from the lungs. And when you breathe in, the dome comes down, so the lungs takes the air in. So that's the motion the diaphragm can have. And I like giving an image of jellyfish. This dome coming up and down, and the dome is obviously 3 dimensions, so this rising and falling is happening in sort of all direction as well. So having this image, we're going to use a scarf to just feel that motion. So this scarf comes around the middle back. So that's kind of the bottom of the rib cage there for me. But that's the level we're going to keep the scarf on, and cross the scarf in the middle, in the front. So there's a bit of tension, not too much. It's just feeling this a little bit of tension around the rib cage. And what we can do is holding this as you breathe in. The rib cage expands and then pushing against the scarf. And as you breathe out, the space in the scarf, space in the rib cage becomes smaller. And just repeating this, so as you breathe in, pushing all the directions, and as you breathe out, the rib cage narrows. I don't know how much you can see, so I show from another angle, breathing in, and breathe out. And again. And breathe out. So we tend to hold the back. So it's quite nice to pay attention to the back if you're really expanding as you breathe in. Then as you breathe out, narrowing the rib cage. So you can do this as many as you like, maybe 10 times or so you get the movement going around the rib cage, all the directions. So now, so we're gonna do this lying. We're gonna take the scarf away. Start from the knees bent, just lying on the back easily, no tension at all. And start from breathing, so breathing into the rib cage as you are doing with the scarf. And as you breathe out, narrowing the rib cage. Now as you keep breathing, start having an image of a balloon in the body, so in the torso, the trunk, between the shoulders and hips. So that balloon expands as you breathe in, and breathe out, the balloon shrinks. So this expansion and compression. Maybe you can come back to the image of the jellyfish swimming, expansion and compression that's happening on the torso. And as you keep doing that, just pay attention if there's any part that is not responding really well. So the part compressed or stuck. Then you can just send in the air to that area so you feel more space in the area as well. So maybe around the shoulders or maybe around the hips. The part we tend to hold. So that's the balloon movement happening on the torso. We're going to do easy movement with the arms, so bring the arms towards the ceiling. Just make sure your shoulder blades are resting on the floor. So we start from palms against each other. Then as you breathe in, open your arms to the sides. And you can go as wide as you like, feeling the width of the arms and chest. And as you breathe out, bring the arms together. So the palms are going to be together again. And then as you breathe in, opening the arms. And breathe out, arms come back. So obviously the rib cage is expanding as you breathe in. And then breathe out, rib cage is narrowing. Then now, so rib cage is expanding, narrowing. The balloon of the body is also expanding and narrowing. Imagine your body, the whole body is in big balloon. So when you breathe in, this balloon around your body also expands. And as you breathe out, the balloon comes towards your midline. So you might feel that you're gathering actually something between your hands. So it's kind of like energy or something. There's a pressure to compress towards the midline. Then as you expand, that becomes bigger, wider. And as you breathe out, coming back to the center. So really feeling this feeling of expansion and also the width, taking up the space, opening up. And when you come back, you're gathering the strength back towards the midline. So now you feel really centered, I feel centered, through the midline, coming back to myself. And again, breathe in to expand, taking up the space, widening. And as you breathe out, gathering towards the midline, coming back to the self. And then breathing. And breathe out. So that's a bigger version of the same breathing from the diaphragm. Yeah. So I'd like to show you maybe 2 more arm movements just to kind of keep working on the upper body. Next movement, the palms towards the ceiling and palms facing towards the knees. Take breath in to prepare. Then as you breathe out, the one arm, right arm is going behind the head, and left arm is going by the left hip and touching the floor. And breathe in, coming back to the center, and breathe out to go to the opposite direction. And breathe out to open. Breathe in, come back. And the other direction. So if your shoulder is stiff, then your arm above the head might not touch the floor, and that's absolutely fine. So just do in a comfortable range, you don't need to push at all. And obviously the breathing from the diaphragm is happening. So by this time probably the body remembers, so you can kind of start letting go or thinking about the ribcage expanding and compressing and finding the flow in the movement and feeling the whole body working together to do this movement. Then this is a little bit advanced, a bit of coordination required. So this one is called windmills. Your arms are going up and down like you are doing now. After this, both arms are moving to your sides. Then turn your palms and keep going. Come back towards the ceiling. If you can, the other way around. If it's too confusing, keep going the same direction. So I change the direction. Then keep going around back to the ceiling. So this is like after you open the arms up and down, imagining the clock around the body. So now you're pointing 12 and 6. Then that becomes 3 and 9. Keep going to bring them to 6 and 12. And come back to the center. And the other side, the other way around. 12 and 6. And 9 and 3. And 6 and 12. Back to the center. And if you get the movement, you can just keep going without thinking about the clock. And notice what's happening in your shoulder joints and also the chest, rib cage, and the whole body. And probably you can do 10 times or so to feel a little bit mobile. So this would be great after you've been facing on the computer for hours, just to open up the chest and feeling the mobility around the shoulders. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.